What is up, Bean Apple fans? It is week 4 already, 1 month into the football season. How the time flies. So, big games on the slate today. And yeah, I was thinking about this last night, kind of running through some of these games in my head. And I can't think of a season that started more unexpectedly than this one has through 3 weeks. Just the wins and losses. I guess you expected the Jets to be bad. A lot of Jets fans didn't. The Lions are still bad, but they're very
Shocking.
competitive, right? Jim's not here to defend him, but the Giants look horrendous, which they spent all that money in the offseason. You thought they were going to do something, and they look terrible. You got the Chiefs below 500. You've got the Steelers just struggling. So many weird things going on. Seattle below 500. Arizona 3-0, Carolina 3-0. I was just like, what? How do we go about this week? Because this season is so out of whack already from what people expected through 3 weeks. What is going to happen this week? Is the what kind of upsets are in store this week? And I know there's got to be some. So I'm interested to break these games down. I want to hear what you've got to say about it as well, John. And we'll see if Jim jumps on. He decided to spend the day or the morning down at the beach for some reason, so he's trying to get back. I guess trying to squeeze those last few days of summer in before it's all over. So yeah, we'll break them all down. The early games, see what we got, pick the winners, losers against the spread and straight up, and then talk about our fantasy studs and duds for each game. So as always, guys, please hit that subscribe button. Get all your questions in as well. If you've got any kind of fantasy questions, drop them in there. I know me and John helped about 7 people win their first week with the advice that we gave because they all went off. So if you're watching, you're stuck between 2 players, drop it in there. Get some feedback from us. Get some feedback from your peers. Make sure you're making the right decision to win week 1. And if not, then at least you have somebody to blame it on. Like, you guys are a bunch of idiots. You made me lose the week. And you feel better about yourself because it wasn't your mistake. So Either way, get your questions in. Let us know what you think. So, John, what's up? Sunday, you ready to go?
I am ready. I am
Awesome.
ready.
Awesome. Let's dive into it. So let's break out with game number 1. The Washington football team against the Falcons. Both 1-2. No Fitz magic. The Falcons pulled a big upset last week against the Giants. Does it happen again?
Is it really an
At
upset
home.
though? Is beating the Giants an upset?
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's like what when the Jags won last year, and then the Jets won a little bit more than them to get the number 1 pick. That's almost what we're saying here. But
Right.
so first off, where's the Washington D? We thought they were going to have this huge D. Curtis Samuel, yes, Alex, you took my thunder. He's going to be playing. We'll see. We'll see. Coming off the injury, it's with him coming back, we'll see how that Washington offense can move around. It looks like Gibson's a go today. I'd probably be a little wary of him in fantasy. You got McIsaac sitting right behind him, who can come in and do some damage. But where's that Washington D, Joe, that we talked about? It's not there, man. I know I was high on Washington to win the NFC East. Actually, I think I had Dallas over them, but I think you had Washington over Dallas, I believe. But we both had them very high. But Dallas is the clear front runner in the NFC East. Not to get off on a tangent, but I mean, this game, Washington at Atlanta, you could flip a coin. I don't even know what the I don't know what the spread is. It shouldn't be more than 3. Maybe just because they're at Atlanta,
It is
maybe
1.5.
Okay, good. Yeah. So as it
It's
should
tight.
be.
Yeah.
So exactly a coin toss. So I give the win to the home team, unless that Washington D steps up, to be quite honest, because that D they're giving up a lot of points, and Atlanta
Yeah.
can score points if they figure out how to actually score with the talented offense. I think Russell Gage is out. Fantasy wise, so that maybe you'll see Pitts with more targets. You'll see Ridley with more targets. Who knows? So lots of opportunities, and don't forget their running back. They Mike Davis. Yes, I mean I picked him up in one of my DraftKings leagues because I think he'll have a decent day. A lot of catches out of the backfield. He's averaging about 11 a week, and he still hasn't done much. So that's saying a lot, considering he hasn't done much. So I picked him up in my DraftKings league because he's cheap. And if it ends up being a shootout, which I think it may be because I think there's going to be a lot of points, Davis may be one of the guys.
Yeah. Could make Taylor Heineke a sneaky play in DraftKings.
Absolutely. I thought about that. It's between him and Daniel Jones is one of my keepers, and you know where I'm going.
Fair enough. All right. So, yeah, I mean, good points. So, overall, I mean, you kind of nailed the key points there. I mean, Calvin Ridley really needs to step up. I mean, they let Julio Jones go for the reason that he was going to be the number one, and he's not. He obviously he's struggling without Julio taking away that focus right now. And where's Kyle Pitts? I mean, he was supposed to be this day one step in generational tight end that you can't miss. And I know tight end's a hard position to transition to into the NFL, but he's a hybrid tight end wide receiver. So it's not like he has to learn extensive blocking schemes because you're not using him in that aspect, right? It's just running routes, and he should be able to do that and excel on a team that has no receivers. You would really think he would be winning these matchups, but he's not. So
how much that though is Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan hasn't looked great.
He hasn't.
He really hasn't. I think a lot of that is Matt Ryan. He has 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He does have a 70% completion rating, which I'm kind of shocked. Yeah. He's averaging just over 220, 230 a week. Mm-hmm. I think it's more Matt Ryan than anybody. I think losing Julio may have hurt him a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yep. I mean, I would have kept Julio, especially with the haul that they got.
Absolutely.
Lack thereof. I mean, they didn't
nothing for him. Yeah, nothing for him.
Just keep him. Keep him. Either he doesn't play and you don't pay him, or he shuts up and plays, and then he moves on when he's done with his contract. All this caving to these prima donnas that it's just stupid. But nothing really big. I am excited to see what this wide receiver, like Alex said, the getting Samuel and McLaurin on the field with Gibson at the same time hasn't happened. Unfortunately, it's not with Fitzmagic, which I really wanted to see because Fitzy can chuck the ball. So I'm interested to see what Washington's going to do, but I'm going to take Washington. I do not believe in the Falcons, and the fact that they struggled so much to beat the Giants tells you really how bad they are. Like, the Giants' offense, team in general, just looks terrible. And the Falcons.
I wish Jim was here.
It took everything the Falcons had to beat them. Everything. So I think Washington's going to walk over them. It's not going to be a massive blowout, but it should be a pretty comfortable, touchdown. 5-7. I'm going to give it 5-7, which clearly covers that 1.5. So I like Washington in this one to win it, but nothing exciting from a fantasy aspect. I don't think across the board.
No.
Nothing I trust playing. And this one should be. Oh, who did you pick?
Atlanta.
You took Atlanta. Do you like?
Only because they're playing at home. I think it's so close. Give it to the home field, and I mean it's not a big distance to travel. DC to Atlanta isn't that far. They're in the same time zone. What's up? What's up, Middleborough? I'm going Atlanta only because they're at home.
Okay. All right, let's roll on to the next one. This one should be a pretty quick destruction there. The Texans traveling to Buffalo. God save Davis Mills. I don't know what else to say in this one. 17.5 points. Mark, there he is. Mark's just sitting in the weeds there, waiting this morning for the Bills. I should have saved this one so you would have stuck around longer because I know you're going to bounce out as soon as we're done. So you got to stick around, give us advice for the rest of the way. But 17.5 point favorites.
And
that's hard.
And there's no risk of them not covering. That's the thing.
What do you think? 24?
You get a 77-3. Wait a minute, Shani. Is that the University of Buffalo playing North Shore Community College? Is that what that is?
That might be a realistic.
I mean, 17.5 points. You could probably put 34, and people are still going to bet Buffalo. I mean, Houston has looked a lot better than everybody's thought. But I'll tell you what, I just see Josh Allen shredding that Houston team. And I think if Tyrod Taylor was playing, I think it'd be a much better game. I truly do. With a team full of no ones, but I think even fantasy wise, Brandon Cooks will probably get a lot of garbage points at the end. You know what I mean? So look out for that, because if it is 77-3, they're going to be passing a shit ton towards the end of the game, and they're going to be playing prevent just to not give up the big play. So
there's also a good chance most of the starters are out in the third quarter.
Yeah,
this game could be 30-0 at halftime.
Unfortunately, they're only carrying 52 players, right? So I mean, you can't swap everybody out, but
right. But you don't leave Josh Allen in there when you have a 30-point lead in the third quarter. You just have a nice day,
And I agree with Shanny right there. I picked up Zach Moss in one of my leagues. I got him starting in one of my leagues because I got some injury issues, but I think Zach Moss will be pretty big too.
We'll see if they could decide on a running back in Buffalo. That would be awesome.
Josh Allen. That's who their running back is, and that's honestly why
Moss. Like, just name a starting running back. Like,
just pick one.
Just pick one, and then let us know who the backup is behind Josh Allen. Like, but yeah. So obviously Buffalo easy in this win, and you take 17.5 is hard to swallow. It's like betting on USC in the 90s, like, or Duke
Bama right now. You know what I mean? And
I think it was like Duke when what's his name was there, who just retired from the NBA. What's his name? Couldn't
Grant Hill.
Shot. No, back in like the early 2000s.
Oh, JJ
Redick. Yeah.
JJ Redick.
Like when he was there and at Duke, like, they would be 25-point favorites, and you'd take the money and
every time
take the points, and they'd cover. Like, it was just insane. They would blow teams out. That's kind of what this game's going to be. So, Buffalo easy. So, reminder, guys, if you're working your fantasy teams and you're stuck between two guys, drop them in there. Let us know who you're looking at and who you're stuck between, and we're gonna help you work it out and win this week.
Absolutely.
So, all right, next up on the slate, the Lions traveling all the way from Detroit to Chicago. 72-degree day in Chicago, and only 3-point favorites at home against the Lions. That's a line you didn't expect to see. But Lions are still underdogs, as they should be. But upset in the making here?
I like Detroit, man. I like Detroit. Yeah. So Detroit came a field goal away from beating Baltimore? Was it Baltimore who beat them with the last minute? The longest kick in NFL history.
Yep.
And they came back against a San Francisco team which should have been down and out, and San Francisco should have bounced them, and they didn't. So Detroit has it there. And I'm sorry, my favorite guy coming out of the NFL is starting again this week. And it looks that all the first round quarterbacks are having the same issue. And it's like we said before, starting these quarterbacks young on somewhat bad teams and or when they're not ready can be dangerous. 9 sacks last week. 9 sacks. So not that Detroit is Cleveland. I'm not saying that at all, but I think Detroit's going to win this game this week. I think you'll see I hope they have a different game plan. Nagy has a different game plan for Justin Fields, because if he doesn't, it's going to be gross again. I felt bad for him. That was one of the most painful things ever to watch.
Yeah, it's and it was tough because he was trying his best back there. He was trying. I mean, it's not like he wasn't, and it's not like he wasn't getting the ball. It's not like he was holding on. I mean, they were at him right away. The running backs weren't picking up blocks. The tight ends weren't. The offensive linemen weren't picking up blocks. I mean, 9 sacks. Let's face it. And who does he have to throw to? He has one wide receiver. I'm sorry. That team is who I benched this week.
You probably should.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it. You got Allen Robinson. That's definitely a sit. It's hard to sit a guy like that, but it's not when you see what happened last week. So,
right.
It's kind of like what I felt like when I was watching last week was, remember in Happy Gilmore when the feds come to take her house because she hasn't paid taxes, and he's like, "Grandma, why didn't you pay your taxes?" And she's like, "I wanted to. I just didn't have the money." That's what Fields was saying. I wanted to throw it. I just couldn't because I was getting sacked all game. So it's like, That's exactly what it's like, and I love Fields. I love all these rookie quarterbacks, except for a couple. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be another rough week. I think I don't see Fields getting his first win this week. That I don't see.
No, but I do see the Lions getting their first win this week.
I do. They've been playing good football. They really have. They've been playing good football.
And Jared Goff's looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's not bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they're much. The Rams would gladly have Stafford right now because he's lighting it up. But Goff does not look terrible. He doesn't. On a terrible team. That's the.
Yeah, and he's holding it together.
Yeah,
he really is. And I like. I'm going to say one of my favorite starts of the week here, especially in DFS, is Deandre Swift.
Absolutely.
So I say straight plug and play for Deandre Swift. They talked about how he's basically the best player on that team, and they need to get him even more involved. So, what does that tell you? On a team that hasn't won a game yet, they're going to feed him the rock like crazy.
They have to. And I think they're going to get the opportunities too. I think they're going to get the opportunities to do it.
Cool. All right, so we're both taking the Lions, and we get 3 points. That's awesome. And then to get to Mark's question here, Tim Patrick or Devin Singletary? I'm guessing that's a flex play. I kind of want to go Patrick with Judy out and with KJ Hamler both out. They have no wide receivers. They're playing Baltimore. They're going to have to throw the ball a bit. I don't
like Singletary because I kind of like my brother said earlier, Zach Moss in fantasy. I think it's going to be the Zach Moss show.
There's 3 running backs in Buffalo, and I'd rather go with one of the 2 healthy wide receivers in Denver personally. But it is just too hard. It's too hard to pick in Buffalo who's going to go off. So Fields needs to watch it. He does. He's going to get his kneecaps bitten off. You're absolutely right.
Not even his fault either.
Hopefully he's got some good knee pads, or at least like the metal ankle braces on. So if they come in, or the knee braces,
kind of like Forrest Gump, magic legs.
Yeah, he's gonna need them. All right, now let's get to an exciting game, which I did not think I would be saying. The Panthers traveling down to face the Cowboys, 3-0 versus 2-1. In Arlington, Dallas is only a 4-point favorite, and they have this game at a healthy 51.5 over/under. So it looks like expecting a nice, high-scoring, exciting game in this one. Is Darnold for real? Is he going to go 0-4? Can he do it without McCaffrey for an entire game against this team? What do you think?
So, to me, you throw a healthy McCaffrey, and I'm going to tell you Dallas isn't going to cover that 4-point spread. Hubbard, I think, is decent. But he is a rookie. You know what I mean? Yeah. He is. You don't know what he has. Is he going to pick up blocks the same way McCaffrey does? Is he going to catch the ball the same way? Now, I got Hubbard in a couple of my fantasy leagues, one of my Yahoo, I think one ESPN, because I had McCaffrey. So, you know what I mean? Nice. There he is. I got his handcuff, so I'm going to play him. The bad thing is I think Dallas has way too much offensive firepower. Their defense doesn't look half bad either. You know what I mean? So I think Dak is going to be too much. I think it's going to be a good game. Darnold has looked well so far. He's looked decent. But as the Panthers have shown in the past, when their number one offensive weapon leaves that team, who accounts for usually about at least half the offense, they're going to lose. And I think that's what's going to happen again. But I think it will be fairly close. I think Dallas will cover by 4. I don't see by more than a touchdown, though. I think it's going to be a good game. So I like Carolina's D too.
Yeah, that's what's gonna really dictate this game. It's not going to be Darnold, and I don't think Sam Darnold has dictated any of the 3 games they've won. I think that defense has played incredible, and I think Christian McCaffrey has just been Christian McCaffrey. I mean, there's really not a good adjective to use to describe him. He is the adjective, right? Like you got Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that's just the way it is. So
I think Darnold's been a good game manager. You know what I mean? He hasn't lost the game for him, and he's still learning the offense. I mean, he hasn't had these weapons before. I mean, only a few quarterbacks have had a weapon similar to McCaffrey. You know, you look at New Orleans, you look at the Giants when Barkley's healthy.
Yes.
You know, even throwing Derrick Henry, even though he doesn't catch the ball much, but you got a running back that just takes the load off your shoulders and kind of carries the game for you. And I think McCaffrey's kind of fallen into Darnold's kind of fallen into a good thing in Carolina. Mm-hmm. I do.
He's in a good position for sure.
Absolutely.
We'll see. I'm going to, oh man, this one for me is very tough. I mean, the Cowboys looked great, but they played the Eagles and they destroyed the Eagles. I think it's a tough one to call, but I'm going to give it to the home team here. I'm going to agree with you that Dallas takes it without. The big question is going to be, can they pressure Darnold enough
Right.
to slow it down? I mean, because they're going to have to throw more. If they could pressure Sam Darnold, they've got it. If Sam gets time back there, he has the weapons still in the receiving core there to pick it apart, and
Yeah.
he's got nice receivers. So if he has time, he can win this game. If they pressure him, he's going to make mistakes because I've seen it for the last 3 years. So he's like Brady; he gets rattled. So I'll take the Cowboys. You'll also take the Cowboys and the
Yep.
4 points, and we should be good there. All right, here we go. Colts at the Dolphins. 0-3 Colts, as we predicted. Dolphins 1-2, not what we predicted. They are 2.5 point favorites. It's going to be a nice, humid 83 degrees down in Miami today. We'll see how the Indianapolis Cornhuskers enjoy that one, but they're going to be hot. That team's going to be, I don't know. I like Jonathan Taylor. He's healthy. That's like the one shining thing that I could see in this team because the offense is going to be bad. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to get a lot of love. I like him a lot this week. It's going to be a lot of dump offs, a lot of runs, and he's going to have to do a lot of work to win this game. On the flip side, I mean, the Dolphins are. I don't know. I mean, you don't have Tua, right? You got Brissett in there, who's manageable.
95 Colts are back. That is true.
Yeah, that's what they look like. But without Tua, that offense is. I mean, you talk about a game manager. That's what Jacoby Brissett is down there. But they don't have a running game. They don't have a running game to lean on to take some of that pressure off and to balance things out. They've got great receivers, but the Colts defense is middle of the road at this point. I mean, it's not lights out either. So, what do you think? Who do you got? Who do you like? Who do you hate in this one?
So I'm going to answer a couple things over here. First off, I agree. I think they do miss Rivers. I bet you they wished Rivers would have come back for another year. 95 Colts are back. That is true. You're going to see the Colts probably in the top 5 picking. Jets over and under 2 wins. I think I picked them 2 this year, 2-3. So as of right now, what I see under and over under 6 sacks for Fields. I think they'll be under 6 only because it's Detroit.
Yeah,
But not much better. Not much better.
right.
Second.
I'm gonna say above 2 wins because I think I'm gonna spoil something here, but I think they get one today. I think upset in the making.
Stop it.
I'm gonna break it down when we get to it. I'm gonna break it down. Teaser.
They
Teaser.
can't stop a high school running back, and you think they're going to stop the leading rusher in the NFL? I can't wait to hear it. But, okay. So for today's game, I'll tell you what, this one is hard to pick. You know, Miami, I don't like Jacoby Brissett. I do like him. The offense isn't the same. They started out 14-0 last week and lost. Yeah. You know, Tua has looked decent when he was playing. I think a healthy Tua, and I think they look a lot better. You know, this is a potential upset for Miami. I'm really hoping Indy does win because I don't feel the greatest about New England's opponent this week. So,
yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'll say Indy this week only because of. I don't know their running back situation. Maybe this is a hard one to pick. One to pick, but let's see.
Okay.
Davis, Smith, Gordon. Gordon may not be playing. I would start Devontae Smith, and if Gordon's healthy, I would say Gordon. I don't trust Corey Davis. I have him on 3 of my fantasy teams for real, and I don't play him anymore only because of Zach. Because of their quarterback play, I just can't trust them.
I would actually go. So this is not going to be good advice for you. I'm sorry, but I'm going to go Corey Davis and Westbrook. I like Westbrook a lot against the Chiefs because he's their best weapon, and I think the Chiefs are going to try and take Devontae Smith out, and it's going to be a lot of dump offs to Westbrook to try and keep them in it. And the Chiefs' running defense has been horrific. So. I really like that, and I think a Corey Davis homecoming might be a good thing. I really do. I mean, I've started Devontae Smith the last 2 weeks in fantasy, and he's put up duds. He had a great week 1, and week 2 and 3 have sucked. He hasn't been able to do anything, so I don't know what he's going to do against the Chiefs, but I like Westbrook, and I like Corey Davis going home. I think they're going to try and they got to get this offense going, and he's going to be the person to do it if it happens. But we'll see. But that's also, I got a little bit of homerism in me there for Corey Davis. I think he's too good to be shut down this much. But he's got to start catching the ball too. I mean, a lot of it's on him. Like, he wouldn't have as bad of numbers as he has, but he's caused, I think, 3 of the interceptions that Zach Wilson's had on dropped passes or tipped passes or passes through his hands, which would have accounted for an extra probably 60 yards of offense that he would have had attached to him right now, and who knows what else. So if he could start catching a ball, I mean, I guess that's where we could start. So maybe go with Devontae Smith. Maybe I'm absolutely wrong. Logically, you might want to go Smith and Westbrook.
Now, are we
Crowder
talking? We're talking Dede Westbrook, right, for Minnesota?
No. Dede Westbrook.
Yeah. Are you talking Brian Westbrook is retired, running back,
who am
right?
I think? Oh.
I'm assuming he's talking about Dede Westbrook.
Tight. Yes, actually. Westbrook, what's his?
Titans Westbrook. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out which Westbrook you're talking, because I know the Vikes signed Dede Westbrook a couple weeks ago.
Actually, I actually threw him into my DraftKings. Westbrook, what's his last? Westbrook Isling or something like that. Let me jump over there real quick but yeah, he's their best option at wide receiver because of all the injuries. So, I would definitely play him, and then it's tough. Probably Devontae Smith if you're going to be safe. But if you're thinking the same way I am with no Elijah Moore, and then Crowder coming back this week, he's not going to be 100. He's not going to be full speed right out the gate. Corey Davis could get a lot of targets, and if he can catch the ball, he could turn those into some really big numbers. So, but yeah, I like Westbrook. I'm going to tell you that.
I think you're going to just see more of Derrick Henry. That's all.
You might, but they're going to have to throw the ball sometimes.
True.
And we'll get to that a little bit shortly here. All right,
I love that you think they're going to win.
So I'm going to go with the Dolphins to close this one out.
I'm going to go with Indy.
Kind of like you talked about. Give me the home team. Give me the home team in the heat, and we'll go from there. All right, Browns at the Vikings. So Cleveland, they're looking good. The Vikings have been close in a couple games. They barely lost to Arizona. They beat Seattle last week. They're at home, so they've got the fans. They've got the noise. Are the Browns who we think they are? 1-point favorites, 51.5 point over-under. Expecting some scoring on this one. What do you think? And Dalvin Cook is healthy and playing.
So, with them playing in Minnesota, I think it makes a huge difference. Cleveland is tough. But the Vikings, they always win those games that you don't think that they're going to win. You know what I mean? They are +9. They're not a bad team. The offense is clicking. They've given up 27, 34, and 17. I'm looking at it now. They did beat Seattle at home. Seattle got their own issues though. But I'm going to go with the home team again. I'm going to go in Minnesota. I think they're going to take the Browns down today. The Browns aren't facing Zach Smith looks worse than Achilles Smith. Yeah, he does. I mean, he had a good career in Cincy. But anyways,
So you think the Vikes will pull it off?
I think the Vikes are going to pull it off.
Ooh, all right. So you get 1 point with that for free.
I do. Nice? I do. I get a free point, so I'm up by 1 already. I mean, how can you not do that?
Yeah. I'm going to go the other way. I think the Vikings, they really stepped up to beat Seattle, and they're due for another letdown because that's kind of the Vikings way. Like they win the game you're not supposed to win, and then they ride that high all week and then collapse. It's they just drop off. So Browns, a lot of talent. Odell Beckham looked pretty good last week, coming back from that knee injury. So another week back. I didn't see Landry's out, right?
Yes, Landry's out. I believe OBJ is playing, so you're going to get a huge running
OBJ
game.
game.
I
Yep.
think look for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt to kind
And I
of.
tell you what, those two, God, we talked about that in the preseason where those are two teams. That's why I said those are two running backs that you could start every week, even
Every
though they're
week.
on the same team.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
they both put up number one running back numbers. It's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take the Browns in that 1 point all day. Here we go. Let's have a little bit of fun now. Giants going down to the Saints. Only 7-point favorites in New Orleans.
Is that all?
Only 7 points? John, explain that to me, please.
I don't know. I don't. That's a joke. It has to be some kind of joke. Honestly, there's no way New Orleans is going to beat the Giants. Their first game in New Orleans and how long? You know what I mean? Wait, hold on. We got Cortland Sutton and Brandon Cooks. You know what, Alex? I'm taking Brandon Cooks. I picked him up in a couple DraftKings leagues because he's averaged 21 points a week in DraftKings on that team. There's going to be garbage points to be got.
Yep.
There's going to be garbage points to be gotten. Is that better? Look, this isn't an English show. This is a football show. I don't know how to talk. Let's see. Chuba or Hunt, Flex, Pittman Jr., Hollywood, Juju. Juju, I wouldn't start Juju today, even with Claypool out. Big Ben just doesn't look good. Hollywood, Baltimore, they have a pretty decent matchup today.
No, they're going to Denver.
Yeah, true. They are playing at Denver. I'm sorry.
I'd go Tim Patrick again. We gave that.
Boy.
Because I don't trust the Steelers offense at all right now, and especially not traveling to Green Bay.
Yeah.
Going up against that Denver defense is tough, especially in Denver. So, Hollywood's a pretty good bet as well. Pittman, that's a straight roll of the dice. I think you have no idea what you're going to get there. And
no,
I wish, to be honest, I wish you could play Chuba and Hunt, but I like both of them a lot.
I like Chuba because he's going to get the majority of the carries, and I think it will be somewhat a close game. They're going to have to, they're going to have to control the ball to slow down that Dallas offense. Yeah. But again, that Hunt, he can break away. I'd go probably Chuba there, Chuba, whatever you want to call him, and I'd say Pittman Jr. and Hollywood in a PPR.
You got to bust out your. Definitely
Chuba.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard.
Playing Kamara and Swift running back. Well, you got two starts there. You got three number ones. Yeah, you got three number one running backs playing today. I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I'd go with Chuba as well. Just for the fact that he is the number one, and it's against a Dallas defense that's not that great. So he should have some success there, but you can't go wrong. And I like Patrick. They're going to have to throw, I think, in that Baltimore game. There's going to be some scoring, and there's no other options. There really isn't. So,
no, there isn't.
Yeah, so I would go Tim Patrick, and I'd go with Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard.
And Alex, I agree with John. Brandon Cooks is going to be the play that you're going to want to capitalize on in that one, because there's by the halftime they're going to be down 30-0, and they're just going to have to throw and throw and throw, and 70% of those passes are probably going to go to Brandon Cooks. So I would absolutely go with that. No problem, TS. Thank you for stopping by, and if there's any other questions, make sure you drop them. And I know that his running backs are disgusting. Come on,
yeah, that is. How did you get them?
Yeah,
that's pretty damn good there.
That's impressive. That is very, very nice. But yeah, okay. So Saints Giants. That's I it's the Saints easy for me in this one. 7 points is way too low, and for some reason I don't know what Vegas knows, because the over under is only 42 points.
Well, they're probably looking at so think about the Saints offense right now. They're not winning because of their offense. Jameis Winston's thrown 7 touchdowns and a total of 300 yards passing in like 2 games against New England and then Green Bay. I mean, he had 4 touchdowns for like 80 yards or something like that. I mean, it's not like he's lighting it up. It's not even like Kamara's lighting it up. It's their D and their ability to not make mistakes. When Winston throws interceptions, they lose, just like he did in Tampa. So when he doesn't, and I think that crowd is going to be amped up. No kidding. Tampa at 5.5. Come on.
But this is the only team that's projected lower for the over-under is that Bears-Lions game, and it's only a half point under. How is this the second lowest scoring game?
Because I could see it. I mean, both offenses aren't scary. There's some couple scary names with Barkley and Kamara, but I mean, think about it. Would it surprise you if the score was 17-16 today? It wouldn't. It just wouldn't.
I think it's probably going to be closer to 28-17, something like that.
Maybe.
Personally, I think the under is. Well, I mean, we'll see, but I think. I mean that's I probably wouldn't touch that line, or the over/under line, but I think the Saints easy in this one by more than 7. What do you?
Because the Giants won't score more than 13. I kind of agree there. They truly won't. That New Orleans D is tough right now.
Well, but it's
Trevor Lawrence Simmons. Sorry you didn't get your first win the other night, brother. So close. Close. Kick the field goal at the end of the half or use your friggin' running backs. That's all I'm going to say. Urban Meyer will figure that out sooner than later, hopefully. But I think New Orleans is going to win easy. The score will probably be closer than it really is, but I think New Orleans easy.
All right. And then the second to last morning game, Chiefs at Philly. Is Patrick Mahomes going to get hit with some batteries in this one? Because they only have him as a 6.5 point favorite.
I mean, he may. I mean, Kansas City. Philly's a hard place to go and win. You know, Kansas City's getting. I think they're the last. I think they're last in sacks. They have 4 sacks. I think 4 or 5 in 3 games. They get no pressure. They're giving up points. I don't know. I don't know. Kansas City's so confusing right now because, I mean, people are talking undefeated. That's all I heard on Sirius all winter long. And then all of a sudden now they've lost 2 in a row. Like Shaney said, can they lose 3 in a row? If they were playing somebody other than Philly, but you know, which Philly team is they are a fumble away from being 0-3. Very true. Yeah. They don't look good. That O-line doesn't look good. They're not protecting Mahomes. And those no-look passes aren't working out the way they were in the last couple of years. So, I mean, I get Tyreek Hill on one of my fantasy teams, and he's doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. Yeah. He's doing nothing. So I don't
can't
know.
bench him. That's a bad thing.
No, you're not going to bench him. Just like you can't bet against Kansas City this week.
But when he gets you 2 points in fantasy,
it's killing me, man. It's killing me. But I don't know. I disagree with play call. Agree with the decision. Travis, I mean, I'm with you, man. But if you're gonna do it, run that running back you have in the backfield that looked pretty damn good all game, which I still didn't think got enough carries. But really, this decade was starting. Oh, Urban Meyer out with the ladies. Good for him. His heart must be feeling better.
I saw that. Somebody put up a thing about how Robert Saleh is at home reading bedtime stories to his 13 kids and Urban Meyer's out partying with the ladies. Like,
maybe he should be watching game film because they could have beat Cincy that game. That game was very winnable for Jacksonville. It's the best game they've looked probably in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see. So, all right. So to wrap this up, so Chiefs, I'm going to take the Chiefs to get things back on track here.
I gotta take the Chiefs.
So 6.5. I mean, this is a game that they could win by 21.
Yeah.
So, and I expect it to be closer to 10, 12 point.
Yeah.
You know, the line should be upward of 10, I think. So, all right, and then let's close it out with the morning show. So, actually, we got some time. I definitely want to get in a hit on your Sunday night game.
All right, we'll talk about that last if you want. That's
so Titans at Jets. Titans 2-1, Jets of course 0-3. Unfortunately, Tennessee is 6-point favorite with an over/under of only 44.5 points. So I think Vegas is playing this one correctly because of the massive amount of injuries on the Tennessee Titans side. I mean, it is staggering the injuries that they have. So AJ Brown is out, Julio Jones is out, Caleb Farley, their first round cornerback, is out. Bud Dupree, their big free agent signing, is out. Dylan Rasmus, offensive lineman they drafted, is out. And I think their punter might be out as well. I saw him on the injury list as doubtful, but I did not see if he was in or out. But we'll see. If it's the Jets, they probably won't be punting much anyway. But they do have a healthy Derrick Henry, right? But their defense is hurt. Their offensive line is missing a piece, and their wide receivers, they lost their two studs in this game. From what I was watching on some of the sports shows, they were breaking down the Jets stuff, and the Denver game, they pressured Teddy Bridgewater on 24% of his passes last week. They actually applied pressure on that, which is really good, and an equal like 28% run block stuffing in that game as well. So I think you're going to see a lot of that same tactic going into this week because you have to stop Derrick Henry. That's what we talked about before. You have to stop Derrick Henry. Without your two best weapons, you have to make Tannehill throw the ball to unknown receivers. And that Westbrook is a nice play because of the fact that there's nobody left. But if you can stop Derrick Henry, you could pressure Tannehill 25% of the time, and you could stop the run 28% of the time. That's going to dictate how this game plays out. If the defense, it's all on the defense. It really is. So, and on the other side for the Jets, you have to balance the offense. Like Zach Wilson is throwing the ball too much. They are not running the ball enough, and they need to find that balance to keep the defense honest and open some lanes for Zach Wilson. They get Jamison Crowder back, one of the best slot receivers in football. So that's going to be a nice option for him to have to dump off some pressured passes, I think. But I don't know. You tell me what you think, and then I think I think the number of injuries on the Titans will open this game up for the possibility of winning.
Joe, so not to be mean, but the Jets have scored 6 points in 2 games. Okay,
That's got to stop.
Denver could be using their practice team and they would still annihilate the Jets. I know it's hard being a Jets fan. I know you thought this was going to be the year, but I'm going to be a friend and kind of level with you. I've always told you the truth. I won't stop now. I think Henry's going to have 47 carries and 380 yards and 5 touchdowns, to be quite honest.
Don't do that to me.
But there's no way the Jets win this game. There's just no way that offense. I mean, they've scored 20 points this year in 3 games. They're averaging 7 points a game. So, I mean, Tennessee alone is coached better. I mean, Vrabel's doing a great job down there since he's been there. Tannehill is moons above Zach Wilson. Derrick Henry is moons above everybody on the Jets. So it doesn't really matter who's out. I think the running game's going to open up even the third and fourth receivers for Tennessee. Wilson's going to make some mistakes again. It starts with the O-line, Joe, and I've been saying it since before they even drafted Wilson. I've been saying it since last year. Their O-line is atrocious, and I'm sorry, they're not getting any better. I'm sure with time they will. But I don't even see this being close. Tennessee's going to absolutely destroy them because they're going to wear down a Jets defense that's already hurt with that linebacker out for the year, and now their safety May is out this week, probably one of their best defensive players. I just see Derrick Henry wearing down that defense, controlling the ball, and it's really not going to – honestly, I'd be surprised if Tannehill throws more than 21 times. Wow. There's just no need for it. There's going to be no need for him to throw the ball.
Well, I will say that as much as you hype the Titans up, I mean, they have not started out that great. I mean, they have scored 71 points, which is good, but they've also given up 84 points. The Jets have given up 70 points, and that defense has probably spent the majority of the season on the field. So to only give up 70 that's pretty damn good. Tennessee, on the other hand, has given up 84, like I said. So that defense is not as great. They lost Bud Dupree, who's their big piece there. This game is going to be predicated on, can the Jets stop Derrick Henry?
No one can stop Derrick Henry.
What did he do week 1? Didn't he get shut down against the Cardinals?
But that game, I don't think they ran him that much. That was the thing. I mean, he only had
17 for 58.
Yeah, I mean, they were already losing. I don't know. I don't look much to week 1 because they've looked totally different since that week. With nobody playing, these games in the friggin' in the preseason, it's kind of hard to judge. And that's why, honestly, my fantasy teams haven't changed the first 4 weeks yet. After this week, I'll start making changes. Should I do this? I get Zeke and give up DJ Moore and J-Rob. My running backs will be Zeke and Aaron Jones. Now with wideouts still. Hill, Justin Jefferson, and A-Rob. Wow. So you're giving up Robinson? You're not a Robinson fan, I take it, because DJ Moore is a pretty good receiver.
Let me take.
Dallas run it. Well, I'll tell you what. You know who's looked good for Dallas running the ball is Tony Pollard. Man, Pollard has almost as many yards as him.
Right. And he's got what? 16 less carries,
I was listening to that today. I don't think I'd be trading Zeke. I like Robinson, man. I think there's a lot more upside with him than Zeke, to be quite honest, because I think they're going to start going to Pollard a lot more.
I think so, too.
Plus, you can keep DJ Moore.
Yep. Zeke looked bad last year. He looks bad this year. I mean, he's averaging 4.5 yards a carry. He's got 199 yards on 44 attempts. Tony Pollard has 183 yards on 27 attempts. He's averaging almost 7 yards a carry for Pollard. He's just the better running back.
Yep. Sooner or later, they're going to realize they're overpaying him.
Oh, yeah. I think they realized it last year, but they still have to. I mean, Zeke's just not doing it. I mean,
and Pollard's just good. Pollard's just a good running back. I mean, I got Zeke in one of my fantasy leagues, and if I had another running back, I would probably either swap him out, or I've actually tried training him, and I can't. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I would target. I mean, with the wide receivers you have, you could target a better running back. Yeah. I think you could package something up and get a massive upgrade at running back. So, we'll see. Oh, are we back at 100? We were at 100, and then we dropped back down again to 99. Have been stuck at 99. We're at 100. Awesome. Thank you. Whoever number 100 was for the second time.
Thank you. This time, stay with us, man. Stay with us, would you?
And John, that completely reminds me, as I saw today is our 1 year anniversary on YouTube. 1 year. So I didn't realize it, but yeah, one year we've been doing this. 100.
Nice. So, it's been fun.
Hopefully we start getting some more, but definitely tell your friends to jump on and subscribe if you're watching, and definitely come back every week and let us know how you did. Hopefully the advice we give out is solid and good, and it leads to a victory. And like I said in the beginning of the show, if it's not, just come on, yell at us, tell us we're idiots.
Yeah, tell us we suck and we can handle that.
We screwed up your entire week and we're the worst things ever, and then ask us for more advice so that we can redeem ourselves, obviously. So, all right. And
I'm 0-3 in the Bean Apple League. How can I be a host of the show when I'm 0-3?
I don't know.
I can tell you.
So
be careful. Don't listen to what I trade for Zeke now. Trade for Zeke second, because what I just said is all bullshit.
Oh man, that is hilarious. Let's see. Titans inactive. Yeah, Julio Jones, Caleb Farley. Their punter is out. AJ Brown is out. Mekhi Sargent.
Are we still talking about the Jets game?
Yeah. So who you picking here? Who you picking?
Let me think. Tennessee by whatever the spread is.
Man, my stuff got all messed up when I was looking up the. Let me jump back to scores.
Is Nick Folk playing this week?
I don't know.
I need a kicker.
6 points. So you're taking Tennessee in 6?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, give me the Jets and the 6 points.
You're a cute kid.
That's what my mom tells me.
All right. You're a cute little rascal.
So let's talk Patriots and
Let's
Buccaneers
talk
real quick in
Patriots.
case we don't get back on later on tonight. So Buccaneers traveling to New England for probably the most anticipated early regular season game that I can ever remember.
It's going to be huge. Going to be huge.
7-point Buccaneers favorite and only a 49.5 over under. I don't know if Vegas just respects the Patriots too much or if they're just out of their minds, because the Bucks by 7 against Mac Jones. Come on. Like, come on. You know, everything is wrong on this. I mean, the Bucks by 7 is way too low. The over under. I mean, Tampa could score 40 by themselves.
So here's my thing. So real quick, I would go Sanders because Henderson's questionable and Sony Michel looked really good last week. They keep raving about how he blocked. So that team is made to throw in LA. They're not meant to run. So I think you're going to see a lot of Sony. Even if Henderson is back, I would start Sanders because you're right. He is still questionable. So now to the Patriots Bucks. First off, I'll always love Tom Brady for what he did in New England. I hope they give him a cool reception as he comes. And then when he breaks Drew Brees' record, because it will happen today, barring an injury, so he will be number one. He's going to go over 80,000 plus. It's huge. I heard they're just going to pause the game. They're not going to stop it, which I think is right. But other than that, I want New England to beat the shit out of Tampa. The only problem is they're not going to. It's not going to happen. So I'm a realist, Joe. Unlike you think the Jets have a chance to win in Tennessee. They have about as much chance as the Patriots do to beat Tampa today. Here's the one thing I am going to say. I think it's going to be close up until maybe halftime because of adrenaline. I think Brady can say all he wants. He's not nervous. It's just another football game. It can't be another football game when you played with the team for 20 years. The fans still love him. I'm not a Tampa fan. I'm still going to be a Brady fan. I hope he wins all the time unless he's playing New England. I love Gronk, too. I'm not mad at either of them for leaving. We had a chance to keep both, and we didn't. That's Bill Belichick's fault. And now we're looking. We probably should have paid Brady whatever the hell we wanted.
Right.
Whatever the hell he wanted.
All he wanted was them to commit to him for the next couple years.
And then sign some weapons. And they did it for a rookie quarterback. So, hey, you know what? I got the Mac Jones jersey. I'm on the Mac Jones train. Hey, yeah. I'm going to keep pulling for Mac. I think he's going to be okay. But, boy, you're going up against a tough D. That offense has zero holes. I think Cameron Brate as your number 2 tight end, pick him up in fantasy too, because I'll tell you what, I think he'll be okay. So what do the Patriots do? They take away the play. Well, I think they will too. But what does Bill Belichick do? They take away the player that's going to beat them. So they have to stop. They can't stop all the wide receivers. You have to rush Brady all game long. You have to hope you're getting pressure on him all game long, or they're going to destroy them. I think the D's, that's why I think they're going to be okay till about halftime. It's going to be respectable till halftime. I just don't see the D being able to hold off for 4 quarters. Unless you get a turnover. I mean, the Patriots need some serious special teams help. A pick 6 maybe. Yeah, AB's coming back. I mean, look at the weapons that team has. How they lost last week is insane. You know what I mean? So I see this being, probably double, maybe triple that spread of, what's it, 5 now? Is it 5 or is it 4?
I don't know. I'm looking on ESPN. They have it at a 7.
I'll tell you what. If the Pats are within 7, I'll be pretty damn happy. Yeah. If the Pats are within 20, I'll be pretty happy, to be quite honest. I just haven't seen anything from the Pats offense. And now you lost James White. So who's taking that spot?
Right.
Probably should have kept Burkhead, maybe. I don't know.
He's coming off a major injury, too.
He is, too. But I'll tell you what. I mean, I don't know who that next back is coming out of the backfield. Maybe see some Stevenson, a Stevenson sighting, unless he's dead. I don't know. But
no, he's back this week.
Yeah, but, boy, I'll tell you what. He was in a doghouse for more than one fumble. He just was. So
it's amazing, though, because he was a preseason darling and then
had one carry for a fumble, and then he's done for the year.
Yeah, come on, Bill. Give the kid a break.
So, again, I see this being close up until half, within 10 at the half. I can't see. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but.
What do you think this looks like for Mac Jones? I mean, this is a monumental task to go up against. This defense is very good. And this defense is going to bring it for Brady.
Oh, of course.
That whole team
will
not let Brady lose.
No. So Mac Jones threw the ball, 51 times? Come on, man. You can't do that. He's a rookie quarterback. That whole offense is learning the offense. The whole offense is new. Yeah. So it's not just Mac Jones. It's everybody on that team. I mean, I hate to say it, but New England, we're going to start 1-3. But I think there's hope. I think if we can at least have a decent showing, show me some disciplined football. Show me no penalties. Show me no turnovers. And you know what? If we lose by 50, we lose by 50. But don't make it because of penalties and turnovers. I mean, we get offsides up the yin-yang. We're getting turnovers. We're getting fumbles. We're getting interceptions. Just stop with the mistakes. Play your best game mistake-free, and you're still going to lose. You know what I mean? You're just going to need a couple lucky breaks. If we can run back 3 touchdowns for kickoff touchdowns and a pick 6, we may win the game. I'm not saying that we even would. We may win the game, but there has to be a whole lot more than what's happening because they're just playing very undisciplined football. They are, and I don't think they're that bad of a team. I truly don't. They're just playing bad. It's just not a Bill Belichick football team right now. Right. But I think Tampa by a lot. That's going to be my guess. I hope I'm wrong.
Oh, I think so too. And then let me ask you a fantasy question for me and the guys out there. So, as I'm doing my last second checks for the guys still watching, I have got a situation to where I've got Tyler Lockett, who's questionable, did not practice but practiced today, looking like he's going to play against San Francisco. I also have Deebo Samuel. That's healthy. Who do I start?
I would start Tyler Lockett.
You sticking with Lockett?
I would. In fact, I am in one of my leagues. I didn't pull him over a couple other people.
I have him in right now, but I'm worried about that hip injury and him being able to really open up that downfield threat that he makes him so explosive. Makes me nervous. He's targeted like crazy this year, but
that's why I'm going with him.
He only had 5 points last week.
He did, and that's because you've finally seen DK Metcalf. That's the only reason to me. But I'm sticking with Lockett in one of my leagues only because he's been a beast 2 out of 3 weeks. Yeah. You know what? It's the roll of the dice. I mean, who's San Fran playing? They're playing
Seattle.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I don't.
With no running game though. San Fran has no running game, so they're going to throw.
I know,
God, Joe. I hate to be tipsy turvy here.
That's where I'm stuck, man. At least I have till the afternoon to make that decision, but I know I'm very torn on this one.
They're playing at San Fran. You got Jimmy G.
Yeah.
So here's one reason why I would go with Lockett is because they have no tight end. So if they're throwing the ball, they're going to have to throw the ball to Lockett and DK Metcalf because Everett's out. I heard that earlier on the radio. I think that's the main reason why I kept Lockett in.
I'm going to have to keep an eye on that one.
Yep. That's a tough one, though. I mean, that is a tough one. I know.
I'm like,
that's a weird situation.
I'm torn on that one. And I hope San Francisco pulls it off and Seattle falls to 0-3 because God, we need that pick. We need that. We need a top 10 pick from Seattle. It would be incredible with how bad this team's playing. So,
would they draft 2 offensive linemen?
I hope so. I really do. I mean, this offense can't stop it. It can't stop a wet blanket.
God, I hope the Jets game is on TV in my area, but I have a feeling it'll be Buffalo and probably the Dallas game. I bet.
Yeah, it's always Dallas. So
it is. It's always Dallas.
We'll see. All right. Well, that wraps it up. We are at the 10 o'clock hour. So, best of luck for your week. Hopefully you guys win. Huge baseball too. I cannot wait for the afternoon. I'm going to be switching over to baseball. God, Mariners, Red Sox, Yankees, and Toronto all battling for those 2 spots. I mean, this is the most exciting American League playoff race that I could remember
in a long time, long time,
decades. I mean, just incredible. And I'm hoping for a 4-way tie and a double play-in to get into the playoffs would be incredible. So Mariners win, Toronto win, and a Yankees Red Sox loss will create a 4-way tie and a
Yes.
double play-in to get into the wild card. That would be awesome, and it would be so great for baseball. I mean, can you imagine the ratings that would drive to watch? I mean,
Let's hope, anyways. It
that would
should.
be awesome.
It should.
That would be
Yes.
awesome. So,
And I
all
do
right.
think Tom and Bill shake hands and or somewhat give like a half-ass hug at the end of the game, or at the very beginning. Probably not the beginning, but probably towards the end.
Do you think Bill will just call him like he did when he left?
Yeah, that's kind of jacked up.
It is.
No,
It is.
I think for the fans and everybody else, I think you have to see them embrace some sort. Because Tom did mean a lot to New England. Everyone can say F Tom now, and that's fine. He doesn't play for the Patriots. I get it. But boy, and quite honestly, you'll never know, but I think Bill needed Tom as much as Tom needed Bill. Tom was not a first-round pick. He was picked in the 6th round at 199. Let's not make Tom Brady. Bill Belichick, I think, had much to do with Brady's career as Brady had to do with Bill's career. I truly do. Even though Tom's winning Super Bowls, but Bill built that foundation of Tom Brady and the New England Patriot football team to where that's where Tom Brady is now. So I just hate hearing it's all Tom Brady. It's no way. Look at the coaches that they had. I mean, there was a lot of support there.
I can't find it right now, but I pre-ordered it, and which will be surprising, but it's the Patriots. Did you see that book that's being written about the Patriots?
Yes.
Like all the behind-the-scenes stuff of the last decade. I pre-ordered it on Audible to come out because I read some snippets of it, and it sounds really
juicy.
Really good.
Yeah. Sounds juicy.
It's like, man, I hate the Patriots, but I have to listen to this. Like just the quotes they were pulling out of that, I was like, holy crap! Like
I need to know why Malcolm Butler didn't play against Philly. I need to know that.
Right.
And I want to know if Chandler Jones got traded because of he was stoned off that synthetic weed and was walking around naked in Connecticut. I want to know if that's why he got booted.
I know. I can't wait to listen to that. But
why Lawyer Malloy was traded the night before playing Buffalo. Okay. Sorry, we could go on forever with this.
I know. All right. Well, yeah, one person left.
Good luck to your Jets, Joe. Good luck to your Jets today. I think you're going to need more than luck, though. Same with me. We're going to need more than luck this week.
Hey, any given Sunday. So.
True.
All right, guys. We will we'll catch you later. Thank you for joining us this week. Please subscribe and have a great week.